Melody girl, you think it's a new day and a new wig, but guess what? You still married to the same man.
Someone love me when it's hard to. I can trust with.
Hey you guys, your girl Gigi is back to talk about another episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville today. As you can see from this episode, Melody thinks a new wig is gonna fix her problems, but bitch, it ain't. Yo man still got daddy issues, which he tried to fix this episode, but honestly, ain't nothing get fixed. So before we talk about this episode, you guys, go ahead and smash that like button. And I want to say hey to any new viewers. If this is your first time tuning in, let me welcome you to big what's up. And go ahead and join the fam by hitting that subscribe button, okay? So y'all, let's not waste no time. Let's get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Basically the episode opens up with Martell talking to his mama. You know, he's a mama's boy. He didn't have his father around. So he decided he wants to go over there and try and get some advice from her. Obviously with the shit that he's going through with his marriage, because he can't keep his dick in his pants. But the mama didn't really give no advice. Like, am I tripping? Like, she just kind of sat there and was like, you know, baby, you do you. Or like, y'all work through things. Like, her and Mel do have a good relationship from what we've seen in the past. So I don't know why it doesn't seem like she's now forcing her son to do like real work. But he did tell his mama that they're in couples therapy, and like she is, you know, glad they're doing that. But Mama Bear, get in your son's ass a little bit more. I don't know if he specifically has told his mama, you know, the true tea about him, you know, cheating and having a girlfriend for 3 years. Because if he had, I do think she might have been a little bit more, you know, aggressive with her advice that she was giving her son. So we're just going to see him, you know, talk to his dad later on in the episode, because he did admit to his mom, you know, that he does want to talk things out with him because obviously he wasn't around. And, you know, the therapist advised he tried to see, you know, how his absence, you know, affected his childhood and what he has kind of become now as a man. So after that, we see that Kimmi is doing the event. Hold on, was that next? No, actually next we gotta talk about Marsaue taking Tish's mama out to dinner. They're finally getting a break. Tish is gone like at some little conference. So Marsaue decided he wants to take out, you know, Tish's mama to give her a break because she's been watching the kids. And when they sat down, the mama basically let him know, yeah, I've been watching your kids all right. It's good to have a break. And Marsaue's kind of taken back because he's like, but that's kind of what you're down here for. Like, you're down here to help Tish. This ain't no vacation, as he tried to put it in his confessional. Like, he's like, I don't know why Tish's mama thinks like she's down here for, you know, free time. Like, she's here to help Tish because, you know, there's nothing I can do. Nothing. Now, Marsaue, this is where I have an issue with you. What do you mean there's nothing you can do to help with your own kids? You have this toxic masculinity thing of, I work, I provide, I bring the money. That's all I gotta do, because that's how you take care of kids. You don't take care of kids any other way but financially, and that's how you're supposed to do it. Men who think that way are the kind that don't have good relationship with their kids, especially sons. The sons grow up to be just assholes because their dads aren't showing them the emotional side of life. And you can tell that Marsaue isn't an emotional man. He isn't very, you know, in tune with his feelings. He doesn't like to admit them. So he feels like, I can just do these little actions that'll just make up for not saying what I, you know, really need to say. So basically the mama like kind of is like, look, you might want to sit there and control my daughter, but it ain't gonna be me. And the fact that Tish's mama is totally opposite from her, like, is amazing. Like, the mama don't take no shit. So how the hell did Tish come out such a submissive person? Like, she obviously has some insecurities to allow Marsaue to treat her the way that, you know, he do. So because Marsau wanted to be like, you know, I'm the head of the household, mama, and Mama Wanda, and I don't think you have the tools to really run what we need to be fixed over here. And she's like, look, I don't care what you say. You might not like me, and I honestly don't give a damn, but I'm here to fix whatever I see needs to be fixed, or my daughter tells me, you know, has there anything that has a problem. And so she brings up obviously the issue of why he don't have time to spend time with his kids, because she's like, look, you know, I'm here for the kids, but why aren't you doing it? You work, but there are plenty of men who can work, provide, and still come home to take care of kids. So Marsaue, you don't really have an excuse like this. Oh, I'm working, I'm providing, money's coming home. Why is she complaining shit that you're doing? Like, you can throw that shit in a river, in the trash, in the dumpster, because that logic is straight up BS. And so he wants to be there. Oh, you know, I do what I do. Tish stays home to watch the kids. So she was like, oh, you know, you really might have more time, you know, for your kids if you wasn't out there with them 20 girlfriends you got. Basically, you got 20 girlfriends on rotation. And he wanted to ask, all shocked, like, oh my God, Mama Wanda, how dare you bring that up? Or how dare you think that of me? And you could tell the mama knows. The mama got that intuition. She's like, look, Marsaue, I've been around here 50 years. I ain't dumb. And what I'm seeing is there's some stuff lacking in the relationship. So I'm just going to straight up ask, are you cheating on my daughter? And here goes Marsaue in this typical not answer the question fashion. I'm going to dance around it. It was a simple yes or no question, but here goes Marsaue again with the, oh my God, how dare you ask me that? Why are you even asking me that question? Am I some type of monster? Like, and that's what he did to Tish. Tish asked the question in the very first episode of this season, and he danced around it talking about, oh, why are you even asking me that? I'm concerned that you even have to question me. Like, bruh, that was a yes or no question, and you couldn't even straight up answer it. You still haven't straight up answered the question. So you are looking guilty as charged, Marsaue. And he somehow, you know, danced around the question and gave the mama some BS, and she kind of bought it. But she basically was like, look, I got my eye on you. She basically telling Marsaue, nigga, you think you out here slick. You might got the wool over my daughter's eyes, but me, on the other hand, I don't think so. So he basically like, look, we need to work together. We have the same interest, Tish. We love the same person, you know, so let's call truce, Mama Wanda. So she basically said, don't get a girl pregnant and you'll be okay with me. So they're all right. So we finally get to Maurice and Kimmi talking in the kitchen. Monster's down for the summer, and they're like picking out some food or whatever, and they start talking about Mexican, Chinese, whoop-de-woo, and Maurice forgets to mention Jalen, what he wants to eat. So Kimmy's kind of like, well, why are you just asking about Monster? Why not Jalen? And he's kind of confused, like, what do you mean? Like, he's not here. Like he could just eat whatever's left over. And I'm not gonna lie, you could tell Kimmi was kind of redirecting her anger. Like, Jalen's 21 years old. He's out there with his friends. Like, he's probably gonna fix himself something to eat while he's out, pick up something. Like, the boy would have been okay with whatever, like, they had. But you could just tell Kimmi was kind of holding in anger from what she originally is honestly feeling, which is left out and, you know, not considered. So, you know, she excuses Monster, and she's talking, and she finally kind of expresses her feelings of, look, I feel like you may not consider me or Jalen in, you know, your life because you completely got tunnel vision. He's like, what do you mean? She's like, look, when Monster is around, that's all you think about. And we still have to discuss the fact that, you know, every time it's you, Monster, kiawah, that little trio, you seem to forget me or consider my feelings. And Maurice basically understood what the fuck Kimmi was saying, because he repeated it to her, because he was like, let me get this straight. Even though I apologize, what you're saying is, you know, you want me to come talk to you before anything is ever made a decision. So Kimmy's like, yeah, you get it, but why are there no actions taking place? And so Kimmi is like, look, you know, kiawah's feelings always seem to come before his. And you can tell that does happen. Maurice wants his son. And it's not a bad thing that you love your son, Maurice. Nobody's faulting you for that. But you do have to understand sometimes you're gonna piss off kiawah. And if kiawah is petty to the fact that because she gets mad at you, she doesn't allow you to see her son, then that's her problem. What you need to do, even though this is not something you want to do, I honestly think they need to take this situation to court. It might get a little messy, but at the end of the day, there needs to be established guidelines so kiawah doesn't step her ass out of place. Because the fact that she already feels like she can talk about Kimmi to Maurice and say anything is a problem. So Kimmi talks to Maurice about that. She's like, look, there needs to be apologies going around. He's like, for what? She's like, for kiawah. And when she yelled kiawah's name, Monster turned his ass right around. He was like, whoop, because he heard that. And I feel so bad that he heard that, because now he knows that there's animosity between the two parents. I think they were doing good hiding it, but now there's going to be some issue now that he knows that there's beef between, you know, the two couples. So at this point, Maurice is like, look, Kimmi, you might not get no apology, and you're going to have to be okay with that. But Maurice, no, bruh. No, Kimmy's absolutely right. It might be a losing battle, but the fight is, I need to know that, the point is, I need to know that you're at least fighting for me. There's nobody in Kimmy's corner. She has to be quiet, because obviously it's like, oh, we got to tiptoe around kiawah because he wants his son so bad. But you're going to basically mess up your relationship. Like, you're going to fuck over your whole marriage to be more considerate of your ex's feelings, because you know she's, you know, the messed up baby mama type who's bitter and the feelings getting in the way, and she's not mature enough to let you have your son. Like, that's her issue. Like, I honestly think, like, this needs to get taken to court, so there is no, like, there is no mix up. There is no, oh, I thought you had him this day, or you can't take him from me this day. There needs to be set Monday, Wednesday, Friday, set this holiday, this summer. It needs to be that, because honestly, from with the sit down that they had and the fact that kiawah wants to play dumb, like she didn't say anything about Kimmi, and Maurice, you were fucked up for not checking her on that, because you know what she said. Kimmi knows what she said, and the fact that you at that table couldn't even be like, kiawah, no, you said these things. Here's the time to sit here and apologize to my wife. You sat there and let her play stupid. So y'all are gonna have a lot of issue, especially if she moves down to Alabama. So Kimmi starts crying, because she's like, you know, I'm tired of like feeling this way, like I have nobody fighting for me. And Maurice tries to butter her up and be all sweet, but she's like, nah, I deserve an apology. So we're gonna move on to Martell and his daddy. He takes him out fishing. He got daddy issues. The therapist says you need to go get them fixed. Talk to your dad and figure out where these abandonment issues come from. And, you know, the fishing trip honestly didn't end up in a resolution that I thought. Martell basically got out of his dad. It was good that the dad was open and said, I'll answer any questions. But Martell didn't ask the questions that need to be asked. He expressed, being abandoned as a kid, and, obviously the dad not being there. The dad did admit, he was in jail. He went to jail for 20 years for some marijuana. Now, either he's lying. I'm not saying that it's not possible for them to go to jail at that time. Absolutely, I do believe they be throwing jail time at niggas for petty ass weed. But how much weed did you have? Damn, 20 years? I know it couldn't have been like no nickel a dime bag. So you was out there real hustling. You was big boy hustling, like Pablo Escobar hustling, okay? So nonetheless, he missed Martell's life, and Martell admitted to obviously like being bullied and like going through so much stuff, and they grew up kind of poor. So you could tell that Martell is trying to become the dude that he was completely opposite of as a child. But he was sitting there playing like, oh, I got the family, I got the good wife, like we're all good. But you didn't really sit there and say to your dad, look, I'm coming to you because I'm in therapy right now, and it's kind of coming up to me that I possibly have abandonment issues, and I cheated on my wife because of that. Maybe you can help me with that. He wasn't being open like that. And I'm kind of pissed off that he kind of was honestly glazing over the real issue. But nonetheless, they kind of have a father-son moment. It was, la-di-da. So it's the day of Kimmy's event. Kimmi has a good turnout. She has all these vendors. Well, she has a semi-good turnout. It was hot as hell, so I'm sure that's why a lot of people didn't come. Black folks and heat, we don't go together. So it was good. And so Martell and Melody show up late after everybody's gone, basically, and done their stuff, donated. Mel wants to be shady. Oh my God. Like, oh, nobody showed up. Maybe things would have been different if Holt and Holt was attached to it. Holt and Holt is everything. They're Beyonce of the group, basically. So she's talking to Kimmi, and Kimmi sees her new hairstyle. She's like, go get it, girl. And I'm like, this shit is hella highlighter, platinum blonde. Y'all like black girls, y'all really underestimate the power of a good jet black wig. Like, jet black sometimes be the move. But she's talking to Kimmi and she points out how Tish ain't there. And Kimmy's like, yeah, I'm kind of disappointed, but she's busy. Melody's like, well, we're all busy. At least I came. And it was like, she was really being messy trying to point out Tish didn't come. But, what else would we expect from Melody? At the same time, the guys are over there talking, and Marsaue points out how he got a new call from a different number, and it was Martell because he finally changed his damn phone number about damn time. But Martell kind of reveals, like, Melody's kind of struggling because she keeps reliving stuff. She's going through old text messages, and she's, always bringing up the old girl who called. And, he's tired of basically Melody running around town talking about everything. But, bruh, this is what you gotta have. Suck it up, Buttercup. You cheated on your woman, and now you better take these licks on the chin if you want to be with her, point blank, period. That's what you gotta do. You fucked another woman, and not only did you stick your dick in another woman, you were with her. You had a full-on blown relationship. This wasn't just no hit or quit, like, I bust a nut, you go type shit. Like, you really had a relationship with this woman. So Melody obviously is gonna feel some type of way, and you married a very petty woman. Melody sure knows how to shade the fuck out of people. So you're just gonna have to be on the recipient's end of that shade. But he's like saying, like, I gotta speak my side because Melody sometimes leaves out, stuff in the truth. She's not always telling the full story. And it's like, bro, forget telling your side. Like, regardless of how things are, you cheated. So, because, Kimmy's event wasn't to the liking of Melody's, her status or her, upper echelon, turnout, she feels like they need to hold a meeting for the comeback group. So after, Kimmy's event, actually, Maurice talks to Kimmy's sister. And Kimmy's sister was not letting Maurice go. She basically let him look, like, my sister feels the way, you're not defending her, and it's because you aren't checking Kiawah. And even though Maurice wants to be like, oh, I'm married to Kiawah, I can fix things, I know it's wrong. Bruh, obviously no you don't, because her sister was right. Why do you feel Kiawah is assuming these things? She can't just assume these things out of the blue unless they're happening. So, it's the day of the comeback meeting. Melody comes in with a whole goddamn new look once again, and it threw Martell all the way off. He saw this long ass blonde wig and was like, the fuck? It was like, what the hell? And he's like, I gotta get used to it, but nonetheless, everybody shows up, including Tish. And, Maurice and his positive energy ass, he wants to get the comeback group together. Marsaue's like, it is what it is. And Kimmi, at the end of the day, the initiative is to do community work. And Kimmi made a very good point. Everybody got lost in the sauce. Personal stuff got in the way. And they could do some real good things if they just establish what each other's role is. What are each of us going to do? So, after hearing Kimmi and everybody's good, talk and stuff, they get ready to make a decision. And Martell's like, hold up. And he takes Melody outside for a little sidebar. So he decides he wants to change his mind, and Melody is pissed the fuck off. She's like, bruh, hold up, a whole 2 weeks we've been talking about we gonna leave these people in the dust. We aren't gonna go back to the comeback group, and here you are changing your mind again. You flip-flopping ass nigga. So now she's like, bruh, I'm tired of this. Like, you hear a couple of good words, but at the end of the day, why do we need the comeback group? We're better than we don't need the comeback group. What do they do for us, Martell? That's what she wants. What do? We've been building this business for 10 years, Martell. And she is like basically saying, look, nigga, we the Beyonce or the Destiny Child, okay? We can go off on our own. And Martell's like, but that's okay. At the end of the day, we're still going to do good stuff for the community. So he's basically like, just follow me, Mel, just follow me. So they go inside, they come back, and Martell, he's like, okay, we're gonna, be in the group. And everybody's like, yeah. And Melody's like, hold up. That's Martell. But at the end of the day, we might be one company, but we're two separate people. And Martell's like, what? Hold up, wait, this wasn't what we just talked about, Melody. And she's like, we're two separate people. At the end of the day, I'm still where I'm at. Melody doesn't want the group at all. She wants dissolution. So now Martell's pissed off because he's like, whoa, okay, Melody, like, I'm your husband, follow the lead, okay? This is what you always done. And she's like, bruh, you ain't ready to pull a Marsaue on me. You ain't gonna force me into a group that I don't want to be in. So then he's like, you're pissing me off. Like, I'm bothered. Like, you're making me look dumb right now. I'm embarrassed. Like, and so Marcel's like, y'all have a couple of issues right now. And everybody's picking up on the energy like, there's about to be a little couple spat in this room right now. So while they're arguing, Maurice says, Martell, lead with your heart. And Melody's like, yep, that's what he does. And maybe one day God will bless him with a woman who can lead with her mind right beside him. And when she said that, Tisha's like, okay, let's go, you guys. So everybody kind of picks up and leaves because obviously it's about to be a throwdown between those two. And at this point, Melody's like, look, I don't want to be in nothing. First of all, I don't even know what I'm doing in this marriage, what we're doing. Martell, he's like, what do you mean? I know what I'm doing. Martell, you might want to be in this marriage, but Melody is 1 foot in, 1 foot out at this moment. And so he's like, Melody, like, you made me look stupid. You embarrassed me. Why can't you just go with your husband? You've always done it before. And she's like, exactly. I've always done it, Martell. And she's like, oh, you're embarrassed? I embarrassed you for 3 minutes. Tried 3 years. I said, well, shit, she got you right there, Martell. Like, bruh, like, come on. So for him, he kind of basically showed his true colors. Like, oh, Melody, we can drop out anytime. Like, we could be in the group because I know I can leave anytime. And she's like, typical Martell. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He wants to be in shit when it's convenient for him. At the end of the day, Martell sees his opportunity to get his name out there. As long as y'all are involved in a bit of something, to him it's like it's better to have a little bit of something than, a lot of nothing with them. Because regardless, they don't want them to go off and succeed and make the comeback group a huge name without them. Granted, y'all might feel like Holt and Holt is the shit, but y'all go off and do y'all shit separately and they do all this amazing stuff together, you're going to feel salty. Y'all going to feel a type of way. It just is what it is. So now they're fighting and Melody's over it because she's like, bruh, like, I'm barely with you. I'm not getting ready to be in this group. And now he's pissed off. He looked dumb. So he's like, you know what? Forget this. He gets up and he tells her to go get the kids. And she said, I will, Martell. And that's where the episode ends. So y'all, the episode was pretty decent. Like, y'all tell me what you think about Maurice and Kimmy's situation. And in regards to the comeback group, what do you guys think? I honestly think buy out Melody and Martell and y'all four can go do whatever the hell y'all want to do. Because regardless, if they're in or out, they're always going to feel like they're better than you guys, and that's going to cause issue. So that was the episode, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all drop a like. Y'all hit that like button, okay? Smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at ggdoll0321, and I will catch you guys for the next review, which is The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay, I will see you guys. Catch you on the flip side. Deuces.